wanted to ask, how did you learn about web accessibility?
Well, I've known about web accessibility for a while. I'm based in Canada, and we have a new law coming into place 2021 where our websites need to be accessible. But here's the interesting thing is that that law applies to companies that are 50 employees and more. And I am just a sole proprietor who contracts out employees, and I would never have 50 employees at one time. So I wasn't really paying attention to it, but things are changing, and they're changing rapidly. And that's basically how I knew about it, because there's a law that's going to enforce it for the larger companies.
Yeah, no, and that makes total sense. You have the AODA, the ADA, the European 301549, and um, you just see generally that the world is shifting its attention to web accessibility. I appreciate that answer. The second question would be, how do you feel that web accessibility is important for your business specifically?
Well, that is an excellent question. And I am in the business of accessibility. And so, what does that mean? I'm actually a trade resource for the interior designers, builders, architect community in the residential sector. And we advocate to have homes designed and built for accessibility. So I hold events, I hold conferences, we talk about accessibility in the built environment. And I really don't feel like I'm walking the talk when my website isn't accessible. And so, it's really important to balance that out, and make sure that if we're going to talk about accessibility in one platform, that we're also using accessibility features on our communication platforms.
Yeah, and that's great. And we're very, very happy that you did take that next step and become accessible yourself. And of course, making sure that your clients and your network is aware of that as well. Um, of course, being in the business of homes, I'm sure that you have worked a lot with accessibility because when it came to, of course, the legal attention or just the general attention of accessibility, it really focused a lot on the brick and mortar side of things. But now, of course, the game has totally changed. So the last question here would be this. Why specifically accessiBe? Why did you choose to join accessiBe as a partner with us over any other company?
Well, I ran my conference. I had a website. Livable Environment was a conference that we ran in October, and I had one of our attendees reach out and say, I purchased a ticket, I attended your conference, I wasn't able to participate in it because you didn't have accessible features on your platform. And I started to do my due diligence, and immediately after that, after receiving that message, and I started researching out, and there was some things that were really important. I needed a platform that was intuitive, really easy to put in, but I also needed it to be affordable because I am a smaller based company. And I have to tell you, the amount of research that I started to do was starting to mount up. And then all of a sudden, I had come across accessiBe's site. And I have to tell you, it was like the stress, that burden was off my shoulders. As soon as I started reading a lot of information about and comparison on, you do a comparison chart on why accessiBe and versus some of the others, and it was all starting to make sense. And so I had my demo with your team, and it was like light bulb on there. I don't have to go anywhere else. This is exactly what I needed. Intuitive. It was cost effective. It was great team to deal with. I mean, they're immediately there if you have any questions. Everything, all of the check boxes were checked for me as a business owner. And I'm so excited. I am so happy. I immediately installed it onto my website. I reached out to that individual that had, mentioned that she couldn't use the site because it wasn't accessible, and she couldn't be happier. So, accessiBe is where I want to be. Thank you.
That's so awesome to hear. That we're able to provide a feasible solution for you and your clients, and most importantly, and the end of that answer, of course, was to help somebody, who actually had challenges accessing your website to now be able to access the website. To us, to myself, and us at accessiBe, we appreciate you taking the time to answer all these questions. And of course, we're always looking forward to our very fruitful partnership ahead. Thanks so much.